Hello everyone. Today we will be dealing with a student management API mini project, and in this project we will create a project using Spring Initializer. Then we will deal with exception handling, what kind of exception handling and how we configure exception handling in Spring Boot. Then I will explain you a bit about Docker file, okay, and yeah, with inbuilt Maven. And then I will show you how to integrate Swagger UI or Open API with the Spring Boot application, and then finally I show you complete application demo. Okay, so let's begin with some diagram. Okay, in the last video I showed you diagram, but in this video I'll show you a bit more than diagram. Okay, so yeah. Mm, Here we have got a course. Okay, student will take course, teacher will deliver course. Okay, so we have got a scenario that student can take more than one course, so it is one to many relationship. Okay, however I did not cover JPA, but you have to think a little bit, because student, if you go to any school, okay, you might have to take more than one course. It is possible that you could take one course, but it depends on the situation. Same way, teacher can teach one course or more than one course. Okay, so yeah, for now we have got this scenario that we have got a student, course, and teacher. And then I show you some Spring Initializer. So using this link, I can create a project. However, I have already created a project. So just want to show you how we can generate our project and include in our IntelliJ or some other IDE if you are using. So here you can choose a project management, either Gradle, Groovy, Maven, or Gradle, Kotlin. Here you can choose a language. Here you can choose Spring Boot. 3.50 is very popular nowadays. Okay, because it is introduced recently. So project metadata we can specify like group. I always put TechWala. Okay, and demo. We can put some Java version, what version you want to use, and packaging. Here we can add some dependencies, for example Lombok and web, and maybe post MySQL. Okay, so here you can generate the project. You've got this thing, you can pull the project, and however I already created a project, so I'll just show you how I added different parts, different uh, things in my project, and how it is working together. Okay, so in last video I have shown you how to add this demo project in your IntelliJ or some other tool. Okay, so this time I'll show you directly about the project. Okay, so here I have a Docker compose file and Docker file. So I explain you, wait a moment, what is the agenda? Yes, this is the agenda. So we created a project using Spring Initializer. Now I explain you exception handling in Spring Boot. Okay, so I created some presentation for it. So first, what is exception handling? Exception handling is a mechanism to handle runtime error, allow your app to respond gracefully instead of crashing. So suppose I have got a REST API, and user is requesting some specific ID, that ID is somehow not present in our database, so user will get some message like ID not found, okay, instead of getting crashed. And in Spring Boot, there are some kind of exception handling, local exception handling, or global exception handling. So global exception handling help developer to centralize error response across all containers, okay, controllers. So this is one of the advantage of global exception handling. And local exception handling is for like a specific controller. So suppose I have got a microservice which has like multiple controller. So to handle exception in every controller is quite unmanageable for me. So with the help of global exception handling, I could manage exception in multiple controller a bit efficiently. So that's why global exception handling is quite preferred. Okay, now it is handled using this annotation controller advice. Okay, so now I show you some demo example. So here we have got a controller class. Okay, so in the controller class, find by ID response, and suppose user don't have that ID, then this exception will be occurred, and this message will be written back. Okay, this is I understand this thing, or I could use something like this exception has happened, has occurred, then exception handler and annotation exception handler user not found exception, that I can put in the controller. Okay, and in the global exception handling, I can put this part here in the controller advice. So controller advice is an annotation used for global exception handling, and here I can put all exceptions like this: exception handler, name of exception dot class, and then I set the response. What kind of response I expect user can get was that particular exception occurred. Okay, so here this is the error response class, and I have created it like this. Yes, error response. Okay, so here we have got some best practices, like controller advice is like help a developer to make to write consistent and centralized error handling code. Okay, and it return meaningful response. So in case some error happened, then the client get to know what kind of error happened through some meaningful responses. Okay, and obviously we have like HTTP status code. So suppose some ID is not, some content is not found, in that case user must get 404, or in case of bad request user must get 400 error code, and that we can log also. Okay, and we can yeah, we avoid catching exception unless necessary. So yeah, we can avoid this thing, like we can avoid catching exception. We can directly return the response error code to the client. Okay, so here we have got two kind of exception handling: local exception handling and global exception handling. So local is for like controller specific, and global is for standardized app wide. Okay, and it makes code cleaner. So yeah, that's what I want to tell you about exception handling. I will also show you exception handling in the project, and but yeah, let's move to this Docker file with inbuilt Maven. So here you see, here I've got a Docker file. Okay, this Docker file is for the complete project. Okay, I want to see something. I cancelled it. Yeah, my video is editing. Okay. Okay, so first this thing I commented it out. Okay, if I write Docker file like this, so what is the advantage and what is the disadvantage of writing Docker file like this? Okay, I comment this out and then I will explain you. I commented it out and then I uncommented it. Okay, here we are taking image from OpenJDK 17. Okay, we have got argument jar underscore file target star jar. So it will take target star dot jar. So where is the target folder? I don't have target folder. So in case if I try to run this Docker file, like I build and then run Docker image, I will certainly get an error because this because this file, this image cannot find the target folder. Okay, why it is not able to find? Because there is no such target folder. And how can I create target folder? By using command like maven clean package. If I run this command, then I can create a target folder, and then I can build Docker image, and then I run that image, run that container. So as I don't have target folder, so I need Maven inside Docker image. So I can't write it like this, that run Maven clean, because if I do it, then my container cannot find mvn. What is this? It doesn't know it. So I have to uncomment it out this like this, and then I have to uncomment this thing. Okay, now I have uncommented it. So first I have to build an image from this maven colon 3.9. Maybe we can use some other maven based image. Then I have to set work directory like this. Then I have to copy pom.xml to, that's my current folder. Then I have to specify maven dependency go offline, because it will download everything offline. Okay, then I have to copy src source to this. Then I run to my current folder. Okay, this will copy src to my current folder, and then it will package it. Okay, when it packaged the complete project, okay, then I have target folder inside my container, and then it is like multi-stage Docker file. Okay, so now I am using JDK 21. Okay, I can also use JDK 17, but it depends on the requirement. Okay, so if I have a project, like I mentioned a project pom.xml, okay, 17, it is 17. I could use okay, I could use 17 here. If this image is available, then it will certainly work. And then it will copy this target folder jar to this app jar. Okay, then it is exposed to this, and this is my entry point for this image. How I am running it? I am running it using Docker Compose. Okay, so here I have got some containers. Okay, first container is MySQLDB. Okay, so this is my database container. Okay, and name of this database is MySQL. This is my image. This is the container name. This is the port and environment. I set environment using MySQL underscore database $, curly braces, MySQL database. Okay, how I'm getting these values? I'm getting these values from here. Okay. Okay, why I need volume? Because I want to have some persistent values. That's why I put it volume. And I cannot define volume like this only. I have to define it like this. First I have to define outside the services, and then I can use volume like this. Okay, so when I run the container, I will find some MySQL data inside var lib MySQL. Okay, and yeah, this command we have to execute because of some authentication reasons, and it also depends on your system. Okay, here we have Nginx. That is also a very interesting thing. It helps us to set up reverse proxy, and I created Nginx stuff also, but it is out of the scope today. So today I will not discuss Nginx, but maybe in coming lectures I will certainly create a detailed video on Nginx. Okay, I'm working on it actually. Okay, so now I will discuss about app. Okay, so app, I have got a Docker file. I'm referring to this Docker file. Okay, so here I've got ports. They are exposed. That this is dependent on MySQL DB. This application is dependent on MySQL. If MySQL doesn't work, this application, this container will also not work. Okay. Now I've got environment. JDBC MySQL, MySQL DB 3306. This database, how I'm getting this value? I'm getting this value from environment here. Okay. Create database if not exists, true. So if database is not created, then it will automatically create the database. Okay, at the runtime. So we are not discussing today about SSL also, but in future we'll certainly discuss about these things. So Spring data source username MySQL user underscore user. So again I'm getting this value from MySQL underscore user, MySQL password, and yeah, environment value. We are getting environment value like this. And here we have network. Spring Boot MySQL hyphen MySQL hyphen network. We can set define network like this. Okay, we have defined network like this. We have defined volume like this. Okay, and yeah, so we have defined these things, and let's go to the code. And yeah, this is our application.properties. Okay, so we have set profile as local. In the first lecture we discussed about profiles in Spring Boot. So I hope in case you don't know, then you can watch my first lecture. Okay, so this is defining the local. So when I start this application without any extra configuration, this property will be chosen. This is for H2 database. Okay, this is a URL, this is username, password, this is DDL. Okay, that is create, and dialect is H2 dialect. Okay, and Prometheus we are not discussing today. So yeah, this is will be this configured, and yes, our what, yeah, this is no. Okay, so I discuss this thing. Okay, then I discuss a little bit about Spring MVC. Spring.mvc throw exception if no handler found. So in case no handler found, then this exception will be thrown. Okay, if any exception is thrown, that exception is cached, and subsequently the response will be sent back to the client. Okay, so let's assume some exception is thrown. What would happen? Okay, suppose no handler found exception is thrown. In that case, error page will be invoked. So this is the error page. I think, where is the error? Okay, template, then is this error. This page will be invoked in case no handler is found. Then this is not too much detailed, but yeah, this give us enough overview, like how we can create error page. We can write some more customized error page, but yeah. So this is the explanation of if no handler found. Okay, add mapping true. Show JPQL when this Spring Boot application run. In that case, we can also see all executing JPA SQL queries. Okay, so yeah, I run this application before, and you can see that we can see some SQL queries also which are getting executed. Create table, student, teacher. Okay, something like that. Okay, it is because I set this thing as true. Okay, we also set logger logging level, like in Spring Framework. Okay, and we have got some Hibernate logging. Okay, so this is also done. This Docker file I discussed. When I discuss more. Okay, so I discuss a little bit about Swagger UI, and then we will start our application and see what is happening in our application. Okay, so for Swagger UI, if we are dealing with Spring Boot 3 plus, 3 or 3 plus, then we have to do two things with Swagger. First is just go here in the pom.xml. Uh, hmm, yeah, this thing now since few years Swagger is renamed as OpenAPI. I mistakenly say it is Swagger, but it's no more Swagger, but OpenAPI. Okay, so I try to say it OpenAPI. This is the first dependency I add. This is even quite old dependency. Okay, but somehow it is working, so that's more important. If it is working, then it's good. Okay, so as local is chosen automatically. Hmm. Okay, this is also one way of defining OpenAPI, but yeah, if you have configured it in dependency and some configuration you did here, then it is enough to work with OpenAPI directly from Spring Boot application. Okay, you just have to configure in dependency, pom.xml, and some configuration you have to set here. Hmm. So yeah, I think we are done with this thing. These four agendas we have, and then we have to start the application. So I'll not start it like this. So I already had this problem. Okay, what I explained you about Docker is that I had old Docker file, like I defined it like this, but it was not able to find target or target folder. Basically, it is not able to find this jar file inside the target folder. So that's why I was getting an error. Okay, so let's start it and let's hope for the best. If everything goes well, then I can see some containers here. It is taking more time. That is so that I also understand that it took more than 1 minute time. And I somehow added quite more dependencies. That could be reason why it is taking bit more time. And I also set it Maven dependency offline. So Yeah, Grafana and Prometheus, Micrometer, these things are not part of today's discussion. Somehow I put it, so well, that could be a reason, but yeah, let's see. Mm. However, these things are not, I'm not discussing these things today, but later I will certainly discuss about observability and obviously I will also discuss about reverse proxy and NGINX and load balancing, securities, log, error logging. So it is taking a lot of time actually. Okay, so I have to see the reason, but yeah, maybe I am building it first time, so that is the first reason why it is taking so much time. I have got some really uh, big dependencies. It seems like okay. Let's see what happens. Oh, and my test is running. My build is failed. So first I have to make it. I don't have time to pass the test, and this is out of the scope today. I just have to see what is D skip test. Okay, maybe I'm missing a word. Maven D skip test. I think it is. Again, D skip test. Okay, just test or test. Yeah, I think now I can. Okay, let's see what happens. So here I have got app built. Let's see. Oh, I still get some issues. Hmm. I know why it is getting MySQL DB. Okay. Okay, okay. It is not MySQL because it is inside the Docker, so that's why it is not able to find out. So what is the solution? Solution is I have to use this host here to fix this problem. Okay. Okay, so it is stopping all container. This is the biggest disadvantage of working with Docker, that suppose you are working with multiple containers, one is fail, you have to stop all. Let's see, this time things are quite fast. Okay, let's see what happened. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It is failing because port is available at this number. Yeah, that's what is failing. Hmm. Let's see. Let's see whether I get another issue or not. Okay, so I'm getting another issue. AppDB student does not exist. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Course, student, and teacher. Course, student, and this. Okay. Data SQL. Mm-hmm. And when it is getting triggered. Config data, initialize data. Okay. Mm-hmm. No, not here actually, because it is using. So again, it is taking more time. Mm-hmm. No, not too much time. Let's see. Let's see what happening. Unknown table sequences. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this project is a bit old, but hmm I'm making another mistake here. Here database is using MySQL. My application is using MySQL, but my application internally using local. A local as this thing. So that is a problem. Okay, so what how I can fix this problem? I comment it like this. I put it like this. Okay. Spring profiles dot active equal to def. Okay. Now hmm, oh, it seems that I have. It seems to be working fine. Okay. Okay, so here I will do one more thing, which is quite puzzle. But let's see first this thing. Okay. If you see this. Okay. Now I will do one more puzzling thing. Okay, because I have got three containers Nginx. So this will give you some little idea about Nginx also. Okay, in future we will certainly discuss detail about Nginx, but let's see. Okay, so today Nginx, this is a URL. Okay, this is a URL of Nginx. Okay, and from this URL, let's see, we are able to getting forwarded to Swagger. Okay, it means through from Nginx we are getting forwarded to the to our Spring Boot application. Okay, this is a like basic overview of reverse proxy, but I will not discuss it today. We'll discuss only relevant things today. Okay, so as this was our agenda for today, this student management API, create project, exception handling, Docker, Swagger UI, Open API. Okay, Open API I have showed you this thing. I already have some in filled data, pre-filled data. So let's see, do we have something? Okay, so we are getting another error. And the reason is, this is the reason. Okay, so here this reverse proxy is not working perfectly fine. That is the reason. Okay, so let's move back to this one. Okay, now hopefully it will work. Let's see it. Okay, yeah. Okay, at least it is working fine and there is no ID with one student ID is found. Okay, 1 minute. Not found a student with 1. This is teacher. Okay, let's see it. Let's see some code. This is teacher. Okay. Mhm. Okay, this is only error message. Okay, not found teacher. Okay, so this is not an issue. Okay, so data. Okay, let's see something. What is inside this database? So I would get to know. So if something is wrong, then I will find out. Mm-hmm. Okay. Minus in. Mm-hmm. Okay, so when this run, let's see docs logs of this init. However, I cannot see any such insert. Okay, so this part of the script is not getting executed, it seems like. Hmm. So clearly this is not found. Okay, so what I can do, I can create a student. Okay, teacher. So I created a teacher. So it seems a teacher is created. Let's see. Oh, okay. So in database, my ID Prakash. So teacher is getting created. Let's see same thing with courses. No. So here I think I will not get any response. Okay. So let's create a course. Mm. Python for DevOps engineer. Okay, title is demo 1, published 2011 6 2025. Student ID 1, name Prakash, course Python. Here we have got teacher 1 Sanjay. Okay, so let's see what happened. Okay, error, we are getting error because I think we have a student. Do we have a student? No student. So as we don't have a student, we cannot create a course. So first we have to create a teacher. We have created a teacher. Okay, okay, we've got a teacher. Now we create a student, post student, and so course is 1 Python, student is Sanjay, Python for DevOps, for DevOps, Python for 22 6 2024 25. Okay, student is Sanjay. Mhm. Student Sanjay, course. I don't have any course so far. No teacher. Let's see what happened. Okay, I think I better execute this query. Mhm. So I have to execute this thing. Hmm. Let's see some logs. What is the problem? container app. I think this structure is not correct. Okay, but yeah, for okay, we'll discuss about this thing in the next course. How I can fix this structure and how I can. The main problem is this, that this part of the code is not getting executed. However, I see that in the data, initialize data. Aha, I know the reason. Now I got the reason why it is not getting executed. I have to customize this thing. For the time being, I will, let's see it again. Hmm. I agree this is not a good way, but I have to solve this problem. So what should I do now? Okay, I restart everything. Okay, okay, so okay, I'm still having some issues. Let's see, this is getting executed, but somehow I'm getting some issues. So let's fix those issues. 11 SQL script 11. ID teacher name. And why it is getting this error? Hmm. Teacher is a primary key. Duplicate. Hmm. Name the label equal to false. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I am getting this error because of this issue. Mhm. Okay, so I started the channel application now. Okay, let's see what happened. It is already there. Student. Okay, this value is already there. It is already there. So yeah, this is the purpose of our uh, this was our agenda actually today. And one, show the running student management API. Okay, so we discuss about how to create a project, how to handle exception. Exception handling is one of the crucial part in any application. However, in Spring Boot it is done a bit differently, especially in the context of controller advice and global exception handling. So you can centralize all the exception handling. Okay, and then we discuss about Docker file, how we create Docker file without inbuilt Maven. I showed you. Okay, for example, I'll show you again because it is also quite important. See, it's without Maven. Okay, if you see it, in this case, if I'm using Docker file like this, in this case, I have to go to my command prompt and create a Maven build from outside. Okay, like a Maven clean package. So, for example, I go here, I write Maven clean package. Okay, in case my test is failing, in that case, I have to write my dscape minus test, and test must not fail. Okay, In case it is failing, we must fix it, but my purpose for this video was to show you a few things. Remaining things I'll show you in upcoming videos. Okay, so if you execute this command, we can get a target folder. Inside target folder, I will certainly have a jar file. Why I will have a jar file? Because I have configured it like this here. Okay, in Maven here I'll show you the packaging is jar. Okay, maybe it is not configured like this, but it means that it is automatically configured in packaged into jar. So here we can define packaging as var also, or jar. So maybe by default it is jar. Okay, so it is because of some plugin, I think. Yeah. Maven, 1 minute. So yeah, in upcoming video I'll show you everything. I'll explain you everything, especially the context of Maven build, different dependencies, and other related stuff from Spring Boot. Okay, so once my Maven build is created, then I could use it directly from this part of the Docker file. But suppose I want to automate that Maven build creation. In that case, I have to use something like this. Okay, it's a multi-stage Docker file. Okay, so first part is creating a build, Maven build. Second part is executing that build and running Spring Boot container. Okay, here container stand for Docker container, not application context or Spring container. Okay. Okay, then Docker is done. Swagger UI, as I have shown you, this is the Swagger UI or Open API. Earlier it was known as Swagger UI, but now it is known as Open API. So we will stick to Open API. Okay, and yeah, it is wrong to say Swagger UI. Show the running student management API. That's what I've showed you. Okay, so here we have got some issues, and for example, I couldn't show you the post part of it. Okay, but that I will show you later in upcoming videos. So yeah, our objective of showing my objective of showing few things like this agenda is like completed today. And in case you have some questions, then feel free to write me in the comments. And thank you very much for watching this video. In case you liked it, then please subscribe my channel, and I wish you a very nice day.